Hello, my friends. Today, let's build the prawn suit. So, we've got some consolidation to do to get some of our materials together so that we can build the prawn suit. Prom suit? Yes, we are going to a dance. It will be lovely. No. Okay, let's consolidate my batteries. Just really quickly, I'll just get over that. We need to get together playsteel. I think we need 2 of it or 3 of it. Yeah, we need 2 playsteel and I'm just collecting all the remaining bits and pieces of the prawn suit right here. And then we will be able to assemble the prawn suit. It's actually pretty close. There's a few pieces we need, like, you know, that pesky one called titanium. We are totally out of titanium because we've been making lots and lots of those steel ingots, which eventually makes the playsteel. And every steel ingot is 10, or titanium ingot, not steel ingot. Every titanium ingot is 10 titanium, and so we just need to hunt. By the way, if you are moving in your puddle jumper or the sea moth, you really should not get out of the sea moth before you take the time to stop. As you just saw, we hurt Riley by climbing out of the sea moth too early because we got literally run over in the ocean by a little mini submarine. Don't know how that really causes us damage, but you know, whatever. So back here I went and collected a whole bunch of scrap metal, and that will give us plenty for the playsteel that we need. I made sure that I got 6, even though I need 5, because you get 4 from every single scrap metal. So we'll just quickly run through these, and then we'll be able to assemble the playsteel because we've got the lithium already, and you know, I think we are so close to assembling the 2 main arms that I like to use. I like to use the grappler arm and the drill arm, obviously the drill arm, because you get a lot of resources from the larger stashes or the larger chunks of resources. And then as a way of breaking in the prawn suit, we will have to take it out and hunt down some of the surface level resources so that we can take them with us deep down and be able to assemble some of our more important things down there, because we're going to need, after looking through the inventory up here, we are short on nickel, which means we need to go back to the Lost River to collect more nickel, and there's definitely some good nickel deposits down there for us to use the prawn suit with. The nickel that we need will allow us to build the depth module for the prawn suit, allowing us to go deeper. Right now, the prawn suit's maximum depth, well, actually, I guess not right now, but the maximum depth of the prawn suit when we build it is 900 meters, which is currently the max depth of, I just had a really cool idea, of the puddle jumper. So I just pulled the battery out of the puddle jumper because it was full. And I realized, hey, let's go essentially recharge the batteries of the Nautilus. Because if we go along here, we can, okay, that one's a little bit empty. We can pick out the empty ones and work our way into charging the the Nautilus in an ad hoc way. There is somewhere in the map that I cannot seem to find an actual battery charger for these larger battery cells. Just like we have the small battery charger, there is a larger one. Just haven't been able to find the darn thing. Like, I don't know what we did wrong, but the powers that be will not allow us to find that technology. So, yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to work around it.
It is normal when first piloting
Here
the prawn suit
is
to feel a
the
sense
prawn
of
suit.
limitless power. Prawn operators receive weeks of training to counteract this phenomenon. You will have to make do with self-destruct.
Did I cut the robot off? Or our announcer lady? Look, we're in the prawn suit. Woohoo! Hey, okay. Now the prawn suit has limited jump jets that allows us to kind of make bigger jumps, but it does run out fast. So one of the mods that we would really benefit from having is the jump jet upgrade, which will give us a little bit longer of a jump when we want to jump further distances, of course. Luckily, the jump jets combined with the grappler arm that we're about to start working on assembling, because we have all these upgrades, right? We've got the repulsor gun and we've got the grappler arm and the mining arm, and we could even do a torpedo arm, but I find the torpedoes a little bit janky to use. But with the combination of the grappler arm, we can hold on to walls or some objects and let the jump jets recharge while we're trying to like ascend if we get too far away from the Nautilus. Or perish the thought, the Nautilus is destroyed. So I'm going to move the Nautilus over close to where the Prawn Suit is. I really don't have a cool name for the Prawn Suit. So if any of you viewers are willing to take the time to put out some suggestions, we might name it based off of one of your suggestions. So for now, we'll just call it the Prawn Suit. Until then, I don't really have an idea for what we could call the Prawn Suit. But the Prawn Suit, just like our beautiful, wonderful puddle jumper, can dock inside the Nautilus as well. But we need to recharge the Nautilus, which I think we only have 2 cells left that are actually used at all on the Nautilus, so it will be recharged pretty quickly. But let's build the arm. We've got all the pieces. Let's get the mining attachment on there. Now we just got to go put it in. Now on the Prawn Suit, just like the puddle jumper, we can access the upgrades from one side. And you just throw them in and the arm is installed. Voila! There we have the mining adapter. Or mining module? Mining arm? Yeah, we'll just call it the mining arm. And if we collect just our... Wait, what do we need here? Let's see here. We need to get... Looks like we need the advanced wiring kit, some titanium, some lithium, some benzene, and then we should be good. Really quickly, let's get the Prawn Suit into the moon pool. So we're going to move the puddle jumper and grab the Prawn Suit, put it into the moon pool for the first time, which, because the moon pool is so far off the ground, we're going to have to play this one very carefully and just gently use our jump jets until those docking arms engage. Yes! Okay, we're good.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Now we have the facility recharging these 2 batteries, and they just barely used... Oh, man. Okay. We'll just wait for a second while we can get those batteries recharged. Once we build the grappler arm, let's take it out for a spin, and let's go see if we can find some resources, which is a good time as any to mention or show off just how rare the larger the larger chunks of resources that are only mineable by the Prawn Suit. It's a way for us to show off the fact that they are kind of rare on the surface. There are some places that we can find them more or less here and there and everywhere. But, you know, it's not exactly a end-all be-all. It's kind of hit and miss on the surface, which is kind of cool and synonymous with how the story progresses. The devs by this point in time were aiming for us to be a lot deeper and maintaining a further depth, or just being ready to go back down to that depth more often, which is what we're ready to do, but might as well collect some resources so that we're ready to upgrade the Prawn Suit as soon as we step foot back in the depths. So just checking on my recipe again and making sure there's nothing else. We do want to get the jump jets upgrade, which looks like we need some of that cave sulfur rock from the Lost River again. And then we also need to get the depth module, of course, because we can't go to the upper lava zone. I guess, yeah, the upper lava zone until I call it the upper lava zone because the lower lava zone is actually lava lakes, but it's also a lower lava zone. Whatever. But we need to get the depth module to go to the upper lava zone, and I think actually it unlocks the ability to go all the way to the bottom of the map. Oh no, there's one more upgrade after that, because we need the kyanite from the upper lava zone to be able to make all of our remaining upgrades that we're going to do, because we need kyanite to make a thermal reactor for both the Prawn Suit and for the Nautilus, and we need kyanite for the Mark III depth module for the Nautilus, and that's going to be a little bit we're going to have to go into the lava zone with very little stuff. In the meantime, we should be able to, and I'm putting together kind of a shopping list for... Why did I jump out here? I gotta go all the way to the Nautilus. I'm putting together a shopping list for what we need to do in terms of the upgrades now that we've almost got the... Oh my gosh, my brain went blank. Oh, grappling arm. We've got almost got the grappling arm. We just gotta grab a few more pieces, and we'll be good to go. But we'll need the depth module, a jump jet upgrade, eventually the thermal reactor for the Prawn Suit. That will keep us charged while we're out and about. This is how we're gonna get our benzene. We gotta get it from these blood vines. Then a hull reinforcement, which is not terribly difficult to build. I guess I could build that early next episode, because spoilers, I totally forgot to build it during this episode. And then the depth module for the depth module Mark 1 and eventually the Mark 2, which we need the kyanite for the Mark 2, of course. Then for the Nautilus, we could actually save ourselves a lot of repair pain if we were to put together the shield module and then get a hold of the sonar module, which is really awesome to use. I love the sonar module, except for it takes up a lot of power. So if we can get the thermal reactor for the Nautilus, we'll be better off. And then, of course, we need the depth module Mark III for the Nautilus, and we will be golden for advancing to more or less the end of the game. There is a post effort after you've completed the 456B storyline that is leaving the 456B planet altogether. And so we could do that. We could just call it quits after we finish the main storyline, because we're doing good. I think that this whole game has been so fun to play with you guys, and I've been noticing that a lot of people have been watching the videos, and I love it. Don't be afraid, guys, to leave a like and maybe tell your friends and say, hey, maybe subscribe, So let's get this other arm in here, and this arm looks really cool. It kind of looks like we could punch things with it. So here we are. There is the grappler, and we'll test it. Holy cow, just yanked us off the platform, and we can move around, kind of give ourselves a boost in speed, because I'm not gonna lie, the Prawn Suit ain't very fast. Therefore, let's take the Prawn Suit out for her maiden voyage and see if we can get some resources. Well, see if we can. Well, we're going to find some resources. I promise you we will, because there are some large resources on the surface. We just probably have to go travel. Maybe we should go to... No. We're not going to the Lost River today, but we are going to go grab some resources. So after a quick little cut, we are going to... Here we go. Really, truly, this cut was totally unnecessary, except for the fact that I got a call, and I just sat there for a long period of time, and I noticed, hey, the lights on the not the puddle jumper were on, and so let's just stash the puddle jumper, especially if we're getting baddies coming around. We've already seen that they'll gladly attack anything that's unloaded. And oh, you know what we should do? Let's make sure that this is empty. We should take this extra storage module with us. Hey, we're reusing stuff from other units. Luckily, the storage module is interusable between the Prawn Suit and the Sea Moth, of course. I mean, it's there's no quote-unquote storage unit or modifiable storage unit in the Nautilus, but we can get things ready by taking up some of the remaining titanium that we have, and we can put together some extra storage in the Nautilus. So let's do a quick little cutsy type thing, and we will place not just one, not just two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh my, 7 containers. And of course I'm calling them containers. They're actually storage lockers. But we will have them. And that's a lot of useful space for storing what we're about to mine. Now, adding in the storage unit gives us 4 extra spots. I know it doesn't sound much because you start out with 24. Oh, no, 6 extra spots. You start out with 24, but by adding the storage unit, you have 26. So that's going to be useful, you know. And let's start our adventure. I'm going to head in kind of a weird, funny-ish circle. We're going to go out towards the mushroom biome that's next to the Aurora, and then we will circle up to the island and work our way back from the we'll go on the west side of the island till we get to the northern end of the island, and then we will kind of work our way back. And just as a heads up, this took over an hour to do this particular circle because I was going a little bit slower than just rushing through it, and I wanted to find resources. I wanted to get a lot of titanium, and hopefully some lithium, hopefully some silver, and I just needed to find, I wanted to find those big resource things. Oh, and the sea salt. We need salt to make some of the, what is it called? We need salt to be able to make the polyaniline, which will come into play here as we try to make the thermal reactors. So if you see me collecting a little bit of salt, that's why. Normally I wouldn't get salt because salt is used only for the polyaniline or for salting food so that it doesn't go bad on you. But to give you an idea of when I collected any of the salvage stuff, I just kind of immediately turned it into titanium and called it good with that. But then, continuing onward, and right now, just so you're aware, we are in that little area between the green safe shallows and the giant mushroom forest, and we are headed towards it, the giant mushroom forest. And look, we have our first large deposit. And I'll show you the process of just going about this. I probably went a little low right here. You don't need to worry about how, you don't need to get this close to the seabed of the ocean here at this point because we are really close. And then you just walk up, it'll tell you when you say, oh geez, I just tried to grapple it, but we're here. Hey, then you just grind at it. And there are some materials, like I think the kyanite takes a long time, and you get like 1 to 4 for each of these deposits, whereas this copper that we're mining right now, we get like 13 or 14 from it. It's pretty awesome. So luckily we don't have any baddies around us, but I got some heads up for you. We do have some baddies attack us before the end of the episode, so that'll be fun to show you. So let's just finish collecting this, and this is the only time I'm going to make you guys suffer through the whole collection process. And thank goodness that you don't have to go picking this up with the big clunky robot. It's at first when I was mining these, when I first got into the game, I don't know if it had that, and I was really frustrated because I had to, I don't know if I just didn't understand it or if it didn't have that feature in the game, but I would climb out, go collect the resources that were all just rolling on the ground, and then I would climb back in and continue grinding. Oh my gosh, it was a little bit janky. So then we find some lithium, And at a rate of almost getting, what, between 10 to 15 or something like that per storage, this was an awesome find. We collected 13 from this deposit. It was crazy. And then I found some lead, and I totally just went mind blank, and I was following my normal procedure. But this is kind of a cool one because we have nothing below us, so I needed to very quickly get us over to that little ledge, which is why I have the grappler armed. Isn't that cool? So I grabbed some lead, and I'm like, dude, we have a lot of lead. But, of course, I mean, you can definitely tell that I didn't quite think of this until I'd mined about, I don't know, 8 lead, which is not a bad thing, I guess, but we really do have a lot of lead, and we don't need a lot of it anymore. Maybe we'll need it for the escape ship, but I don't remember what the recipe for the escape ship is. So this was a tricky one to get back in because we had to kind of angle and use our jump jets. So, not a bad deal. Let's jump to the next one in 3, 2, 1, and boosh. Here we are. We're almost... This is a really cool sequence right here because we are right below the enforcement gun. And we're near those units. You can see them off to the left of my screen. Those big alien units. But this is where we found some silver. And I was wondering if I was going to slide down the mountain. It was really funny. But this area actually through the prawn suit looks really, really pretty. And so let's cut to the finishing of the silver right now. And I'll show you just how pretty this area is. Look at this. And now I did get curious. I'm like, can we get rid of these rocks? No, apparently we can't. Because I thought maybe there might be some of these rocks that might be covering up a hole or something like that. We could just mine them and get rid of them. But this was a little bit of a stretch for our jump jets because I had to be very careful. And you can see I kind of didn't quite hit the docking arms, and I almost ran out of jump jets, which is kind of scary because your prawn suit can fall and take damage. Now, this deposit here, I thought I'd found titanium. It's actually a silver, but I wanted to mine titanium, so this was a desperate move, and probably, well, it was definitely almost a bad move. Because, holy cow, look what happens in the next 5 seconds. I get down to this thing, and I'm about to start mining when... What the? Holy cow, dude! Holy... Now, but this is really cool. We actually see what the miner does to creatures. This thing is OP. Like, it can do decent and pretty... Not decent. It does pretty massive damage. It does way more than a knife does. And we were able to fend off these guys, but they did almost half damage to the prawn suit. And I'm like, nope, not gonna mine this thing with these guys around. I don't have time. I don't even have the repair tool loaded in my hotbar or anything, so we are just gonna say, sorry, that wasn't titanium. We're gonna move on. So, a little bit later, we're back at home. So that whole trip that I just kind of cut into about 5 minutes was over an hour of exploring because on the surface, these bigger deposits are really hard to find. And we took the scanner room down south. Well, down south. We took it down deep. And I haven't the resources to be able to make another scanner room, nor do I think I want to. So I'm going to consolidate my inventory here, and we will talk about what we're going to do next. We're going to take the prawn suit down into the depths. We'll go into the Lost River. We'll collect the remaining stuff that we need to be able to make our shopping list of modules, and we will start going into the lava zone. So we've got one more episode of going to the Lost River, and I'm excited about that because now we get to mine some of the big stuff. Now, been thinking about it. We kind of attracted the attention of that big ghost Leviathan, and he's now kind of protecting our main entrance. So when we go down to the Lost River, we're going to try to find the alternate entrance that is right nearby. And I'm positive we should be good. And right now, you just saw my mouse freak out. I was realizing I have no nickel. How insane is that? So, yeah, we're going to have to go grab some nickel. I was really hoping to make that depth module. That's why I kind of got frustrated about it. But, you know, this has been fun. And I think we should call it quits here. Guys, this really was a fun episode. I'm glad you came with me. I'm super excited for what we're going to do next. And with that, I wish you guys a wonderful week. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.